Good morning, Warriors. This is Mrs. Gibson. This week, we're going to continue to work with Module 5, Topic A, Numbers 11 through 20. So turn and tell your neighbor that you're working with the numbers 10 through 20. So on the screen here, we have a number line, and the number line is from 0 to 20, but the numbers that we're going to be working with is from 10 to 20. So we're going to count forward from 10 to 20, and I want you to count forward with me. Ready? Count. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. What numbers are we working with? Did you say number 10 through 20? You are correct. So now we're going to look at our standard. Our standard reads, understand the relationship between numbers and quantities. Connect counting to carnality. So what they want you to be able to know the connection between numbers and quantities. And the way you're going to do this is by connecting counting to carnality, and I'm getting ready to show you how to do that. So we're going to look at this object here, and this object is a card. And we've seen cards at home or over our neighbor house, and we've even used cards in the classroom where we compare numbers, we count on, we've done adding and subtracting. So I'm looking at this card here, and I notice that it has diamonds on it. So I'm going to start counting, and counting is the process. So we go 1, 2, 3. The last number I heard myself say is 3. So 3 is my amount, my total, or my quantity. It's the quantity of these objects. So let's go ahead and do the next one together. We know we always have a path, so we have to have a starting point, and our starting point is here. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what number did you hear? 10. So 10 is your total, your amount, or your quantity. So does 10 match these items? Yes. So the number is 10, and the items or the objects is equivalent to 10. So let's look at our objective. Objective reads, I can count 10 objects in a group of 10 to 20 objects. I can describe it as 10 ones and blank ones. So they want you to be able to count and describe groups as 10 ones and blank ones. So let's see, how can we complete this task? So first of all, we have to know what 10 means, ones, objects, and groups. So let's look at some straws, some objects that I have here. And you can use any object at home. You can use beans or cans, anything you would like. So let's use these objects, and see how many do we have, but we're going to count them in a group of 10. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a group of 10. So this is 10 ones and some. So how many do you see? 3. And this is 10 and 3. And we know that 10 and 3 is equivalent to how much? Did you say 13? Yes, so let's prove it. So we can count on 10, 11, 12, 13. So when we count forward, we can see it's 13. Or we can count this way, and you can determine which way is faster, counting 10 and moving forward, or counting ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So which way was faster? Counting 10 and 3, or counting each individual one? So now we know what 10 look like. We know this is 10. We know what ones are. We know this is 1 and this is ones. We know what objects are. We know these are objects. And we know what a group look like. And a group is that. Okay, so how you're going to show me? You're going to show me by counting and describing. When you describe it, you're going to tell me more about it. For instance, you'll say 10 ones and 3 ones. So that's what we had a few minutes ago, 10 and 3. How will I know that you understand? I'm going to give you an exit ticket and a problem set, and it's going to look like this. So this would be your partner work. You and your partner would do this together, and then you'll go ahead and do this one independently. So this would be your problem set. So remember, our can statement, repeat after me. I can count and describe 10 objects as 10 ones and blank ones. So tell your neighbors that we're going to work on putting objects into groups of 10 and see how many more we have. Great job. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to count groups as 10 ones and blank ones. So let's look at this. We have 10 and 3, which is equal to 10 ones and 3 ones. It would be 10 and 3, which would be our total of 13. And we know that this is a number bond. Our whole is how many? 13. And our parts are what? 10 and 3. So we have this group of 10 and 3. Okay, so the next thing we're going to think about is our essential question. Throughout this lesson, I want you to think, how can you count by tens to make a greater number? And I want you to think about that for a minute. How can I count by tens to make a greater number? I want you to think, and then I'm going to call some numbers so you can answer the question. How can you count by tens to make a greater number? You have 1 minute. You're thinking. How can I count by tens to make a greater number? Bring it back in 3, 2, 1. Number 5, what did you come up with? You can start at 10, which is your group, and add on. Great job. What did you say? You said anything more than 10 is greater. Okay, great job. What can you do? Number 7, you can count forward, starting from what number? Yes, start forward, count from 10. Can you give me an example? 10 and 5. Okay, great job. All right. All right, you can start at 10 and add on. Great job. All right, so let's bring it back. So let's look at some strategies at how we're going to do this. We always have a starting point. We know we must have a starting point or a path in which we're making a group. Then last week, you circled the group in groups of 10. So what we're going to do this week is we're just going to kind of expand it a little. And what we're going to do is we're going to place checks on each item. You can place a check or X, but they're asking you to touch and place a check and see how many that you have left over. Why do you need to learn to count by tens to make a greater number? I want you to think about that. Why do I need to learn how to count by tens to make a greater number? Okay. Did you think about it? So now I want you to turn partner A, I want you to turn to B and tell B, why do you need to learn to count to 10 to make a greater number? And B, what are you supposed to be doing? You're listening. Okay, so A, let's go ahead and talk. One, two, three, switch. B, you're talking, and A, you're listening. Bring it back in 3, 2, 1. What did you come up with? You said saves time. Great job. By counting forward instead of starting at 1. You said it's faster. Yes. And it helps you when you're ready for the first grade. Definitely. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look at our vocabulary, some objects that I came up with. And you can see that you come up with the same objects. We have counters, erasers, the rec and rec. We have manipulatives like bugs. We can use our magic fingers all the time. You can put those in groups, people in groups, shapes, coins, counters, And beans. Great job. Okay. So now we're going to get ready to watch our cool video. And when the cool video goes off, I want you to turn and talk with your partner about what did you notice or what did you see in the video, or even something that you think that you've learned from watching this. So we're going to go to our cool video. Okay. And we're getting there. It says numbers in the teens. I want you to participate.
Have fun and learn math at the same time with Adapted Mind. A fun learning game for ages 5
and
to 14.
we're there. Listen and participate. Numbers in the teens have a group of 10. Come on, everybody, let's sing it again. And extra 1. 11 is a group of 10 and 1, extra 1. 12 is a group of 10 and 2, extra 1s. 13 is a group of 10 and 3, extra 1s. 14 is a group of 10 and 4, extra 1s. 15 is a group of 10 and 5, extra 1s. 16 is a group of 10 and 6, extra 1s. 17 is a group of 10 and 7, extra 1s. 18 is a group of 10 and 8, extra 1s. 19 is a group of 10 and 9, extra 1s. Everybody should be participating. The numbers in the team have a group of 10. Thirteen is a group of 10 and 3, extra 1s. 14, 4, extra 1s. 15 is a group of 10 and 5, extra 1s. 16 is a group of 10 and 6, extra 1s. 17 is a group of 10 and 7, extra 1s. 18 is a group of 10 and 8, extra 1s. 19 is a group of 10 and 9, extra 1s. Great job. So now at this time, I want you to turn and talk with your partner about what did you see or what did you notice?
Come join Sophia and her friend Ralphie on their exciting adventure. They'll find their courage to live.
Okay, we're thinking and we're coming back in 3, 2, and 1. What did you see or what did you notice? Okay. You said that you had groups of 10s with 1s, okay? You had numbers getting larger, they were. You had groups of 10s and 1s, okay? And you notice there were teens that had a group of 10. Great job. So now we're going to look at our vocabulary, just kind of review. We know that counting 10 ones, grouping ones into a group of 10 ones and more ones. So they're saying more ones. So this is your 10 and your more ones would be what? 2. So 10 and 2 would make what? 12. Great job. So now you have your 10 frame here and it kind of organizes so you can quickly look because anytime that the frame is full, it is what? 10 and you just count on, which is what? 11. So 10 and some ones and that 1 would be 1. So 10 and 1 equals 11. So right here, this is what you did last week. You circle your 10 ones, you counted the objects, you circled it in 10. That way you can actually see your extra ones and your ones is extra is what? 2. So you have 10 and 2. We had our regular counting where we practice counting by tens. We go 10, 20, 30, 40 because we know that's faster. So then we reviewed. We know that we looked at the different formation or configurations of the objects and how they were. So we could always have a starting point. And we know that this configuration is circular and this configuration is scattered. So the objects are kind of scattered and you have to have a starting point. Can anybody tell me the reason you have to have a starting point? Very much so. So you will not count the same object twice. This is linear counting. This is like in a row, and you're just counting linear. So now we're going to do our fluency, and then with our fluency, we're going to do counting the math way. So we're going to get our hands ready, got our fists, and we're going to go from the left to the right, and we always start with our what? Pinky. So that would be the math way. But we know we can always do another way. But the math way, we're going to count to 10. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. Now we're going to play the piano. Doing it the math way, we're going to start with our what? Pinky. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. So now what we're going to play another game is called counting forward. So you're going to start at 10 and I want you to stop at 15. Counting forward. Ready? Count. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great job. The next one I want you to start at 10 and stop at 18. Ready? Count. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Great job. The next one, you're going to count forward at 10 and you're going to stop at 20. Ready? Count. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Great job. So now we're ready for our push-up. And we know how we do the push-up. I'll show you. If we had the number 10 and 5, we'll have 10 and 5, which is 15. We can also do it like 10 plus 5 equals 15. So we know how to play that game. So let's go ahead and do this. 10 and 1, your turn. 10 and 1. How much? 11. The next one, 10 and 2. What will come out the next one? What do you think? Did you say 13? 3? Okay, let's go. 10 and 3. All right, and the next one? 10 and 4. What will come after 10 and 4? 10 and 5. Great job. 10 and 5. The next one would be what? Did you say 10 and 6? You're right. Let's do it. 10 and 6. The math way. The next one, 10 and 7. Here we go. 10 and 7. The next one, did you say 10 and 7? Okay. Okay, you're going to go 10 and 7. We're going to go 10 and 8. Let me get past this. Okay. And it seemed to be stuck. Okay, from current slide. Okay, 10 and 5. Let me get there. 10 and 8. 10 and 9. Let's go. 10 and 9. Okay, did you do that? And then we do 2 10s. 10 and 10. And we know that is how much? 20. Great job. So now we're going to do a quick check. You did this last week where you circle the group of 10 and then you're going to color in the happy face. So I'm going to give you a minute to do that. Okay? Just a second. Kind of jumped off and there it is there. Okay, so now you're going to circle the group of 10, and you're going to color in the face. Remember, always have your path that you're going to follow. You're going to have a starting point. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute to do it. And I'll come back. Bring it back, and 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go ahead and do it together so we can see if yours look like mine. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me get a marker pen so we can mark with it. So I'm going to have a starting point, so I'll know where to start, and then I'm going to start right here. It doesn't matter where you start. You can start here or here, but just as long as you put a check. So last week you counted and you circled your group. This week they want you to put a check on your object. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that has 10. So I'm going to circle it, and I'm going to do my happy face because we're working on the number 10, looking for 10 in the group. So now I'm ready to do this one. And then I'm going to put a check on it to see if it's 10. So here we go. I'm going to change the colors so I can see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So is that 10? So what do? Did you do the sad face? Great job. And then if you notice that this configuration of presents or gifts were kind of scattered everywhere. And so the check mark helped you remember not to count it twice. And right here, we have the configuration of a circular. Great job. So now we're going to go ahead and go to our next one. This is our application. And I'm going to read, let me go back one, because I want us to actually do it together. Okay. All right, so we're going to go to the next one. Okay, so now I'm at my application. Great job. So I'm going to read the problem for you. It says, Lisa, this is Lisa. Lisa counted some sticks into one pile of 10. She counted 5 other sticks into another pile. They want you to draw a picture to show Lisa piles of sticks. So right there in front of you, I want you to use your straws and get a pile of 10. So that's going to be our first step. So we're going to read the first one. We'll see up here. We're going to stop here and do the first one. Then we'll do the next step. So we'll circle our numbers. We know that we circle the numbers. So let me circle the numbers right here. So I'm going to circle the number 10 because we're going to be working with 10 and we're going to be working with 5. So now it says, Lisa counted some sticks into one pile of 10. So there's your pile of 10. So did you do your pile of 10? Great job. So now I want you to get another pile of 5. She counted 5 other sticks into another pile. So I want you to count 5 other sticks. So count 5 of the straws into another pile. Okay? So what do you see or notice there? Okay, you say you notice that you have one pile of 10, okay, and another pile of 5. And then what does that remind you of? Okay, it reminds you of your push off, your 10 and your 5. Great job. So now you would actually describe this. Remember, it says count and describe, so we would have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you could say, I have 10 ones and 5 ones. Great job. So could you show me how to do that in an equation? Okay, you could say 10 plus 5 equals 15. Very much so. Great job. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to our next slide. So now we're ready to do the I do, we do, and we're going to do the partner. We're going to do that. This is extra. We're going to do the partner, where you're going to do it with your partner for your exit ticket, and then you're going to do it independently. So now this is the I do. Mrs. Gibson is modeling. When I'm talking, what are you doing? You're watching, you're listening, great job, and you're learning. So now I'm getting ready to put on my thinking hat, and you're going to listen to me think aloud. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my pictures, and I see that they have pictures of gifts or presents. So, and I notice that they're in a circular configuration. So I'm going to read my directions. It says touch and count 10 things. So they want me to touch and count 10 things. Put a check over each one as you count 10 things. So they want me to put a check over it. So I'm going to count them. I know I have to always have me a starting point. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there's 10. So then I notice that these does not have a check. So what I'm going to do is I have 10 ones and right here, 2 ones. And I know that 10 ones and 2 ones is equal to 12. So 10 and 2 is equal to 12. All right, so the next one, we're going to do it together. So now we're going to do the we do. The first thing we're going to do is what? Look at the picture clues. Very good. Then we're going to touch and count 10 things. We're going to put a check on each one as we count 10 things. So here we go. Get our marker. We're going to get a blue one. And we're going to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they says do 10, right? So we're going to stop at 10. And what are we going to do? Okay, we're going to go ahead and circle the last one so we can see this is what we had extra or some. So we have 10. And if you look at this, what does that kind of remind you of? Did you say a 10 frame? You are right. That reminds you of a 10 frame. So it helps you see that you have 10 ones and 4 ones. So 10 ones and 4 ones is equal to how much? Did you say 14? Very good. So now at this time we've done the I do, we did the we do. So I'm gonna let you do this one with a partner. You're gonna have 2 minutes to work with a partner. Partner A, you're gonna do the first part by putting the checks mark and finding how many we have left or extra. Partner B, you're going to fill this in. You're going to read, I have blank ones and blank ones. Ready, set, work. Okay, great job. At this time, I'm walking around to see you're talking with your partner and you're discussing to see exactly if you understand the process and are you counting and describing those objects. Okay, I like the way that you say that you see pennies. Okay. Did you come up with a path or did you have a starting point? Great job. Would it matter if you had to start on the end rather than there? Why? Okay, great job. All right, go ahead, continue on. Okay, great job. Did you remember to put a check on it? Okay. All right. So what I noticed is that you put that in a group of 10, which is fine because we did through that. I want you, just as long as you're able to see that you have a group of 10 and you have some extra ones so we can kind of get our total. Okay? Okay, bring it back and 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's look and see what we came up with. Okay, at this time, I'm going to work it out so you can actually see, and I'm going to put a check mark on. So I notice that we have coins, and I know that the coins are scattered, and they want us to touch count and put a check on each one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I know we didn't have to go any particular way. We put the check marks, and we know that the check marks help us to remember not to count it twice. So I'm just going to kind of circle the extra one that we have right here. And the extra one, we have 10 ones and what? 5. So we have a group of 5. So we have 10 ones and a group of 5. So 10 ones and 5 equals what? 15. Ooh, you're smart, boys and girls. Great job. So now we're going to go ahead and get ready for our problem set. We're going to have about 10 minutes. We're going to do our problem set. And after you finish your problem set, you're going to come to the carpet and we're going to get ready to debrief. And we're going to talk about what we've learned and what did you see and notice during this activity. After that, you'll be able to go in centers. And with your centers, you'll use your center stem the same way you've been using it. And you're going to sort these and put them in groups of 10 and see how many you had extra. Any questions? Comments? Everybody understand what we're doing? Thank you, and I'll see you next week. Toodly-doo.